keep making Ghostbusters. Are they any good? I'm in Salad and I saw Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. It is written and directed by Gil Kenan, also written by Jason Reitman. And if you haven't seen this movie, I will spoil it for you. This movie takes place 3 years after Afterlife. You remember how in Afterlife they saved the city from a bunch of ghosts or whatever? Yeah, now it's up to the mayor to be like, no more ghost busting for you. Man, I feel like other Ghostbuster plots have covered this, and it's just retreading the same ground. But more importantly though, you saw 3 years ago that there were ghosts needing to be busted. And now the mayor wants to shut it down? Why? Because he doesn't believe in ghosts? That's not his explanation ever. He's just like, I want to shut the Ghostbusters down. The mayor is trying to find any reason to shut them down. And he pinpoints Phoebe. Hey, Phoebe, you're a minor. You're endangering minors, Ghostbusters. Looks like we're going to have to shut you down. And so, in order to comply with the mayor, even though the mayor wants the Ghostbusters shut down, there's a compromise that they'll have to get Phoebe off of the team. So Phoebe's just doing nothing now. She's just going around at night, finding random chess pieces to play chess with herself. And it's a strange movie. First of all, random appearances from Podcast, who is by far the best Ghostbuster ever, and he just shows in and out of scenes just randomly. It's not shown, oh, he's entered the scene. No. It's usually like not even mentioning Podcast by name in the scene before, but then next cut or next scene, Podcast is there for some reason, and they need Podcast's help, I guess? They do this with a bunch of cameo characters in this movie. I'm talking about celebrities in the Ghostbusters world. By that I mean the original Ghostbusters that are still alive. They just appear out of nowhere, in and out of scenes, and then disappear with no introduction or no exit. And that is annoying. That's so annoying. But, of course, I'm so sad that Podcast isn't in this movie more. He just kind of shows up in and out. Maybe he has 20 minutes of screen time in this too long of movie for what it is. Jeez, it's so bad. Just go watch Ghostbusters again. You don't need to watch this trash. There's a few problems happening within this movie. First of all, the storage containment unit for the ghosts is filling up. How? I don't know. It just is. So they gotta find a way to either empty it or find a new facility to take all the ghosts. And guess what? A new facility was being built by one of the older Ghostbusters that wasn't mentioned until very conveniently it's mentioned and then shown and then given a tour. Also, they are extracting ghosts from objects using this system of putting an object with the ghost in it, the tube, and then the ghost gets pulled out of the tube and then gets put into another tube and then gets put into the containment system. I'm just establishing stuff so you know later on in the movie when they're used. So we also have Phoebe. I mentioned she's playing chess alone in the park. Well, she's not alone. There's this ghost that just is there. She was burnt alive as a teenager. So now her and Phoebe are just playing chess. The ghost is like, why are you not scared? She's like, whatever, I don't know. Bro, it's so clear they are used to ghosts. This ghost should be concerned. But anyway, she's like, I'm no longer a Ghostbuster, I guess, so I don't have to bust your butt. I'll just play chess with you. And it's several times in the movie that this ghost appears throughout. She even goes to the Ghostbusters. It's not a firehouse. There used to be firemen there. But is it a firehouse if instead of the firemen it's Ghostbuster men? Is it a Ghostbuster house at that point? I don't know. Anyway, so the ghost goes to this place that they're having the whole Ghostbusters thing happening from. the firehouse from the first movie. They bought it, woohoo! And I think they bought it in the last movie too, but now they have it. And I guess the mayor wants to shut them down even though they bought it. Whatever, who cares? I guess it's because of all the collateral damage, but like, bro, do you want ghosts haunting everything, or do you want to give people jobs? I know you have to rebuild stuff that was already built, but still, you're stimulating the economy. You should be thanking the Ghostbusters, actually, because you're stimulating the economy, you're giving people work, and with the money that they have, they can now buy goods and services and pay taxes. So you should be very happy for the Ghostbusters, actually, Mayor Man, but he is not. The editing of this is a little weird and wonky, like I mentioned with the character things earlier. Then we get introduced to the shop. I don't remember if it was introduced within the last movie, but it's not introduced in this movie. And I think it is important for movies to be standalone. Even if they are sequels, they should still introduce locations. Or if a location was already introduced in a previous film, just do a callback. Oh, hey, we're back at the firehouse for the Ghostbusters, or we're back at the shop, whatever. Just say the name of the place again, just so I know what's happening, where we're at. Anyway, the shop. There's this man, not introduced before, ever, but he has this box of stuff that he took from his grandma's house. Keep in mind that they don't ever ask for this man's address, ever during this exchange, ever. He has a box he's selling to this man. I think Ray, that's his name. He's selling the stuff to Ray. Ray detects one of the objects to have the ghost aura, whatever. EMP field, whatever. It's off the charts. So he sells this orb to Ray, and Ray has it now. Keep in mind, never giving his address, ever. And then they put that orb into the nice little extractor machine that I mentioned earlier. And instead of the orb being extracted, the orb breaks the machine kinda, but more importantly, breaks the force field that's containing all these ghosts behind glass on display like a zoo for some reason. It had to be like this in order for this ghost that can transfer itself into different objects to escape and go into different objects. You gotta be so stupid for this plot to even work. Also, they're like, oh no, this is bad. Okay, we gotta go contact the guy who sold this to us. You know, guess what? Remember how I mentioned, not so subtly, that they never got his address? Well, they go to his address and knock on his door. Where did they get his address? They shouldn't at all been able to do this. But they need to do this in order for the plot to progress. Oh my goodness. The movie wouldn't have existed at all. They should have, like, had some sort of dialogue, something quick that's like, oh, here's my information, here's my address on it, so it's more clear that this is where they got the address from. But no, they don't care about proper storytelling that makes sense over at wherever the heck media studio is producing this garbage film. Oh my goodness, I can't believe this exists at all. Anyway, they go to this man's house, and this man's like, oh yeah, come in. Oh yeah, I found this orb in, like, the back, like, really back. I was looking for some food, and I found this really back room. It was covered in bronze, and the orb was there, and so I took it out. I'm like, oh my goodness, you guys, you didn't realize how powerful this orb is? Apparently, this man's a descendant from fire masters, who are the only people that can stop whatever's in this orb. By the way, whatever's in this orb is a really powerful demon ghost that wants to kill people simply by being afraid. And he has the power to turn things cold. Get it, Frozen Empire? Oh my goodness, it's all coming together. That's so amazing. What a cool, coherent movie. I'm so glad that I watched this film. For real though, while I was watching this film, I was like, what? That doesn't make sense. This is awful. Oh my goodness. This is so bad. Well, guess what? The demon creature gets out. Oh my goodness, he's terrorizing the place. Oh my goodness. Guess what? The Bear Man was wrong. They need the Ghostbusters. Guess what? The Ghostbusters, they do be bustin'. Also, I mentioned that ghost that Phoebe was talking to earlier. Apparently, the Demon Man can control other ghosts and is also directly working with this ghost. So, this ghost can get under Phoebe's skin and release all the ghosts from the storage containment area, I guess, is the plan. It's whatever. If you can control the ghosts, you might as well want all the ghosts. And guess what? The area that they have the old storage container full of the ghosts gets damaged. And oh my goodness, they have to get all the ghosts again. And specifically, this demon ghost, and only the Fire Master can do it. Fire Master is incompetent, but he learns to use his Fire Mastery skills to do some fiery stuff and defeat that guy. Phoebe is now a Ghostbuster. Podcast joins again. Various Ghostbuster cameos just appear out of nowhere for a couple of scenes and then just go back into obscurity, I guess. Man, this movie is such a mess. And my favorite part, very last scene, very last scene, they're driving down New York doing some Ghostbusting stuff. We're back at status quo. Yay, the hero's journey has completed. They're back at the status quo, but they learned something. That's step 12 of the hero's journey right there. And I'm like, okay, cool, you guys did it. How? So bad. Awful. But then, right before the credits, dedicated to Ivan. And I just said out loud, Ivan doesn't want you to dedicate this piece of trash movie to him. Oh my goodness. This movie's bad. Don't watch this film. It's a mess. It's a cash grab. Everyone knows it's a cash grab. Don't watch any more Ghostbusters, please. I don't want any more Ghostbusters movies to be filmed because they're all trash and bad. It all went downhill after the first Ghostbusters, in my opinion. What do you think of Ghostbusters in the comments below? Which one's your favorite one? This one is definitely not your favorite unless it is. In which that's, I say, why? Anyway, this movie's bad. It's so bad. It's so many holes of plot. So many plot conveniences, plot armor, and just straight up bad. I mean, it looks good because millions of dollars was given to the visual effects budget. So in that regard, it looks good, but the writing itself and the editing and the pacing and the freaking cameos are bad. So I'm gonna give this movie, it's a solid 4 out of 10. If you like this review, watch another one. The platform really likes that. $20 Dinos at patreon.com/ASEPresents. One movie review for 1 month. Go to this link tree to support the daily grindiness of all them daily movie reviews, so you can go here. And until next time, I'm in Salad Saw. I'll see you later, my sad croutons and bacon bits. I'm gonna go look for Podcast because I missed him in this movie, and I hope that he appears as the main character for another Ghostbusters reboot. Adios. Oh wait, there's a ghost over there. I guess I can't find Podcast after all. Oh no, not a ghost.